what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen, for another fragrance review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a barbershop fougere classic, a German barbershop fougere from the house of Maurer Wirtz. It is Irisch Moos, or Irish Moss, whatever you want to call it. What we're going to do, as we always do, we're going to break down the fragrance into 5 parts. First, taking a look at the box and the bottle presentation. Then I'm going to go over the fragrance's notes. Then I'm going to talk about my experience wearing it in terms of its performance. I'll give the fragrance my overall thoughts, and then I'll give it my overall rating. Before we get started, of course, if it's your first time here to the channel and you enjoy watching the videos that I create, make sure to subscribe to support the channel. And if you have an Instagram, go check out the Instagram page, Scents of South Jersey, so that way you can follow it, check out photos of fragrances from my collection, and see these stories I post daily on my scent of the day. Let's check out Irisch Moos. All right, let's check out the presentation. Let's take a look at the box here. So we got this green and black box here, Irisch Moos, Irish Moos, Eau de Toilette. It's a 50 ml bottle. On the top, you have the concentration, and on the sides, just that pattern again, some more brand information. On the back, you got some more brand information here. You got some stuff written in German and then in English. Feel the power of the unspoiled nature. Enjoy the natural, fresh fragrance of Irisch Moos, masculine, serene, especially long-lasting as an eau de toilette. So, and again, made in Germany, Maurer Wirtz, and you have the barcode and batch code there in the bottom. Here's what the bottle looks like. Kind of got this emerald glass bottle, pretty thick glass, green juice, black cap. It clicks into place. You can hold it. Pretty cool atomizer. See the distribution there. And this is my scent of the day, so let's spray some on. Spray some on my hand. So not a bad presentation. Has a drugstore vibe to it, but that's okay. So let's look at the notes for Irisch Moos by Maurer Wirtz. So this fragrance, being green, is going to have some green notes. In the top, you have green notes: bergamot, rosemary, orange, lemon, and coriander. Then when you get to the middle or the heart of the fragrance, you have geranium, cloves, lavender, and cedar. And then in the base, the very end of the fragrance, you have moss, tonka, and patchouli. So what I experience most with this fragrance, in the opening is green notes, in the middle is cloves, and in the base is moss. Those are the 3 notes that I think are most prominent. If you could just simplify it by listing 3 notes, those would be them. The other ones I really can't pick up on that much. And then it kind of goes into a little bit more of a talcum powder, but I'll describe that later when I talk about the thoughts. But those are the notes for Irisch Moos. All right, so performance. The performance for this fragrance is actually, it's pretty good, right? I don't get a full workday. I get about 6 hours. But the beginning of the fragrance, when you spray it on the first 2 hours, it actually projects. Like, that's when I smell it the most. Then, you know, maybe in the middle part of the day, I notice it when I move around, I get whiffs of it. However, you know, maybe about hour 5.5, 6, that's when it becomes sort of a skin scent, which is typical of the drugstore style, inexpensive barbershop fragrances like this one too. So I'm not going to knock it for performance. It's not the best. It's not beast mode. However, it is pretty decent for what it is. But in the first phase of the fragrance's life cycle, it does project pretty strong. I smell it a lot no matter where I'm at. Small movements, I'm getting whiffs of it the whole time. Overall, though, it's only lasting around 5.5, 6 hours until it's like a dead skin set. Performance. All right, so let's talk about Irisch Moos. Let's give my overall thoughts. I'm going to spray some on so I can get some more of the opening. This is a classic green masculine men's barbershop fougere. It's got the classic old school vibe, the powdery, fresh shaving foam, shaving cream, green notes in it. If you're a fan of another fragrance from this house, Tobacco, which I've talked about on my channel, you're gonna love this one. This is not as spicy, it's not a clone, it's not too similar, but it reminds me of it. That's exactly what I thought of when I first sprayed this one on. However, this one's its green cousin. So this one doesn't have the spiciness, it has the moss, but it's a different type of moss than the normal oak moss fragrances that I talk about on my channel. This one is like a frozen or icy frosted moss. It's cooling to the skin, and then it's got an infused scent of cloves and spice in there, which combines together, makes a really masculine green note fragrance, spicy dry down. A little bit of talcum powder, barbershop powder. That's where the barbershop theme really comes in. They do have an aftershave too, which is even more cooling to the skin. I shaved today. This is my scent of the day. Use the aftershave, and then I got the aftershave Irisch Moos balm as well too. Absolutely necessary. So the bottle here for the aftershave is 100 ml as opposed to the 50 ml eau de toilette This has an awesome dabber stopper there when you splash it out on your hand. Smells exactly the same, should probably push the performance. So if you like the talcum powder, green moss infused barbershop style fragrances, you'll absolutely like this one. I would imagine people in their 30s would probably appreciate this more. It's clean, it's got a powdery freshness. The moss though, that frosted icy feeling, that I can't get over that. That's probably my favorite part of the fragrance. Not only is it cooling to the skin, but it's a different type of smell. And then underneath that is the cloves and the talcum powder too. So this is like almost like when you think of oak moss, you think of the dense forest. This might be more of like an open field with some trees and woods way off to the side, but the moss is like just there in the air. And that's what this is, but it's a cooler day. And I think you could wear this one all year round. Maybe a little over the top if you do heavy sprays in the summertime because of the powderiness. But anyway, it's fresh, clean barbershop. You can't go wrong with this if you like that type of fragrance. Not expensive. Think about things like about images of barbershop. I see this up on the barber counter next to the Pinot Clubman and the Barbasol shaving cream and the Barbicide where they stick the combs in there. And then you get this one splashed on the back of your neck or on your face. And then you spray the eau de toilette just like that. Awesome. This stuff smells excellent, extremely masculine, 30s and up probably would like it. Relatively long lasting, like I mentioned, 5.5, 6 hours, not bad for the price and for maybe the level in terms of quality at which this is at. It's kind of has that drugstore vibe. It's absolutely office safe. You won't offend anybody. It's masculine. Maybe it's absolutely old school. So if you're looking for something super modern, obviously this is not going to be it, but this smells fantastic. Absolutely recommend this one. And it's just a really clean, green, masculine barbershop fougere, which is among my favorite styles of fragrances. That's Irisch Moos. All right, guys, let's give my overall ratings for Irisch Moos by Maurer Wirtz. So presentation, right? Let's take a look at the box and the bottle one more time. Very drugstore-esque, but classic. Kind of has a cheap presentation, but that's okay. I like it. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it works for what it is. So we're going to give it a 6.5 out of 10 for presentation. Now, performance. I said 5.5, 6 hours, so we'll round it up and we'll give it a 6 for performance. And then the smell, that icy frosted oak moss powder and talcum powder and clove infusion, I'm really enjoying. It's not the greatest fougere I've ever smelled in my life, but I really like it. And everyone knows I like classic old school masculine scent. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for the scent. Now the overall rating is gonna come in at a solid, probably 6.8, but we'll round up and give it a 7. So 7 for Irisch Moos. All right, guys, that'll wrap it up for me for this review of Irisch Moos by Maurer Wirtz. So I want to hear from you guys. Do you own this fragrance? What do you think of this fragrance? What do you think of the review? Do you agree with me? Do you really enjoy it? Do you like masculine barbershop fragrances just like this, like tobacco, ones in that vein? Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are. What are good alternatives to this? If you've tried this, if you have it, you like it, you dislike it. I always appreciate all the interaction with you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video and hanging out with me today, and I will see you all next time. Take care.